and with a natural product, I know, I always knew of psychedelic mushrooms being found in cow manure, and that's certainly not a great place to study this product. How are you addressing the standardization of the raw material? It is a natural product. How are you tackling that aspect of just actually getting that raw natural material into a form that can be studied?
So this is something where taking a look at both modern cultivation practices for edible mushrooms and then also laboratory style cultivation practices actually show a lot of value with psilocybin mushrooms. The ability of fungi to be adapted to many different growing conditions is really high, and so the ability to take what you're describing there, growth out in the pasture and then move it into a highly productive system in a controlled environment, similar to a lab or a cultivation house on the edible side, really is the way to address those issues and actually brings a lot of the control of the end product into our hands and removes it from less control.
And Dr. Hoyer, I mean, you've had experience with this, working with natural products and trying to I guess, standardize them.
Yeah, so you really apply modern analytical chemistry to the natural product. And so there's been a long history of chemists who have taken natural products and then found their active constituents and then actually finally marketed those in purified form. Aspirin is one that was originally from the willow tree. The antihypertensives we have now were originally from a snake venom, although the compounds are completely different now. And so there are many examples. In fact, natural products served as the basis for the modern pharmaceutical industry. And I might mention how the psychedelic and neural field is really kind of going back to the roots of original drug discovery. There was a period with molecular biology and doing expressing proteins that one would then purify a very specific target, like a kinase for oncology or breast cancer, and then try to develop a specific agent. And that was sort of the target to a drug approach. But historically, although except for maybe the last 20, 30 years, that was how drugs were discovered. And so now we're kind of going back to that. We're actually seeing that these compounds are active, and through a process of finding, well, what are the constituents that are the really true actives, or is it a number of constituents working together? We can now actually discover things that nature is teaching us. We can discover new targets, that is, new enzymes and receptors that might be activated. And so it's really opened up a lot of the, particularly the CNS field, where we've taken clues, but and then tried to develop them in a sort of narrow-minded approach. But the psychedelics are a little different. They sort of turn things on their head and kind of return back to more what we used to call the phenotypic or the physiological effect way of finding drugs. And they have this long history now, I would call it long, of we know what their relative safety issues are. We don't know a lot about the metabolites in many cases. In many cases we do. So there's really a rich area for research there to fine-tune these molecules and provide a better drug for a specific disease, or use the natural product in its mix if that's appropriate.